You pull out a piece of meat that has stayed frozen the whole time, but the surface looks pale, dry, and almost windblown. It did not necessarily spoil, and it may not have thawed. The problem may be the packaging. A freezer is not a magic pause button. It slows change dramatically, but it does not make food timeless. When the surface is exposed to trapped air, moisture can slowly leave the food and collect as frost or ice crystals elsewhere in the package. That dry, grayish, tough-looking patch is what people call freezer burn. It is often a quality problem before it is a safety problem, but it still means the food has lost something: juiciness, texture, and flavor. Step back and think of the freezer as a tiny cold climate system. Cold air circulates. The door opens and closes. Warm food sometimes goes in. Defrost cycles or crowded shelves can change the temperature around different items. Inside a loose bag, there may be enough air for moisture to travel. Even after water freezes on the food surface, it is not locked forever in one place. Over time, moisture can leave the surface and end up on the inside of the wrapper or on colder parts of the freezer. That white frost in the bag may be water that used to belong to your dinner. The path of freezer burn is slow. Water does not vanish all at once, it migrates bit by bit from exposed surfaces. Meat may turn lighter and dry around the edges. Fish may lose its tender texture. Ice cream may grow large, unpleasant crystals. Bread may come out hard and crumbly at the corners. The common thread is that the food remains frozen, but its eating quality keeps changing. A tight wrapper gives moisture fewer places to escape. A loose bag or half-empty container creates a small empty room where ice crystals can move, grow, and steal texture. This is where people often misread the signs. A dry, frosty, discolored patch does not automatically mean bacteria have taken over. Freezing temperatures generally slow microbial growth, so freezer burn is usually discussed as damage to quality, taste, color, texture, and moisture. But that does not mean every frozen food is safe forever. If food has thawed for too long, been refrozen repeatedly, smells bad, feels slimy, or shows obvious spoilage, that is a different issue. Do not panic because you see frost, but do not trust food only because it is still frozen. Quality and safety are related, but they are not the same question. Good freezing starts before the freezer door closes. The goal is to control air, moisture, and temperature swings. Wrap food as close to the surface as possible. For meat or fish, divide it into portions you will actually use, press out extra air, and seal it tightly in freezer-safe bags or wrap. For soups, sauces, and cooked dishes, use containers that leave only a little headspace, while still allowing room for expansion. Vacuum sealing can help, but it is not required for every home. The basic idea is simpler: do not leave cold air licking the surface of your food. Give it a tight coat. For apartments, shared kitchens, and small households, the best habits are practical. Do not throw one giant package into the freezer and hope future you can deal with it. Portion it first. Mark the date. Keep older food where you can see it. Avoid stuffing the freezer so tightly that air cannot circulate, and avoid opening the door again and again while searching for one missing bag. If space is limited, use zones: raw meat in one area, cooked food in another, bread or vegetables somewhere easy to reach. Organization is not just neatness. It reduces forgotten food, torn packaging, and long storage time. Compare two pieces of chicken. One stays in a thin, loosely tied bag with plenty of air inside. Months later, the edges are dry, pale, and tough. The other is divided into meal-sized portions, wrapped tightly, pressed flat, sealed with less air, and dated. It still changes over time, because no packaging is magic, but the change is slower and easier to manage. Many freezer problems are solved not by buying a bigger freezer, but by making each package smaller, flatter, tighter, and clearer. Freezer burn reminds us that storage is not only about cold. It is also about contact, air, and time. So when frozen food looks like it has been dried out, the answer is usually moisture movement in packaging. The freezer is cold, but it is not still. It is dry, it changes slightly, and it slowly redistributes water when food is exposed. Freezer burn often hurts appearance, texture, and juiciness before it proves anything about safety. The most useful fix is simple: portion food while fresh, wrap it tightly, remove extra air, label the date, avoid constant door opening, and do not forget it for months. Low temperature slows change, but good packaging protects what you actually want to eat.